Well, hello everybody. John Hunt here from MarketingPlanGuide.com for another edition of our free Monday Marketing Plan Q&A program. We do this every Monday except for major holidays, and the purpose of this session is really to allow you to ask any question related to creating your marketing plan. Okay, our next question is an interesting one. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Or how do I market before I have a marketing budget? And you know, it's real interesting. I run into a lot of people like this. In fact, I did a whole webcast on this earlier this year called Champagne Marketing on a Beer Budget. And one of the questions, you know, I asked them there, well, what kind of budget is no budget? I mean, do you literally have $0, or do you have $100, or is that too much money? And quite often people get spooked about this concept of a marketing budget because they think, you know, well, I'm going to have to take a loan out from the bank in order to create and do all the things that I want to do. And you really don't want to look at it that way. So here's a couple ideas. First of all, you have to ask yourself this question: if you don't have a budget, what do you have? Again, even if you don't have $100, I mean, you might be as bootstrap gets, and you have no money at all. So what do you have? Because if you're going to be in business, you got to have something. Well, you know, there's some things you can look at. Perhaps you have your time. You know, if you're not tied into a lot of things, you might have an hour a day or an hour a week or an hour a month or whatever it is, but that time is valuable, and you can take and use that time to create some activity, and pretty much I'm sure that you're going to have a phone because most people have a phone, even if it's a cell phone or a home phone or whatever. But when you have your time and your phone and you don't have a budget, one of the things you can do is start using that phone to assess the marketability of whatever it is you have that you're trying to sell, your market or service. And you can actually start creating some market activity. And when we talk about the idea of creating a marketing budget, one of the ways you create a marketing budget is by taking a percentage of maybe your last year's sales. And if you have no sales, then how do you create a marketing budget? Again, it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I think it's important to know that when you do start out, you have to assess what it is that you have and how can you use it. So if you have your time and you have your phone, you can at least use those two tools or assets to start the ball rolling and maybe get a sale in here or there. And then as those sales come in, you take and reinvest some of the profits of those sales into additional marketing efforts. But, you know, some of the other things you have is you also have your reputation. You know, chances are if you're starting a business, if this is a brand new business, because if you don't have a marketing budget, you may be just a brand new business, but you have your reputation, and that might be in one of many forms. You may have a reputation for doing something well in a certain industry. Maybe you worked at another company, now you're on your own, and this is where you have your expertise. Or you have many years doing something, and now this is your reputation or your expertise base for doing that. So you combine your reputation with your phone and your time, then you have a story to tell when you pick up your phone and make a phone call to whoever it is you're trying to sell to. And then you might say, well, I don't have any customers. I don't even have any prospects. Well, what you do have is you do have a circle of influence. And, you know, just like we talked in one of our other videos about how to market your art, you do have friends, perhaps, that you can start with. Even if they're not in your target market, perhaps you can take those friends and have them lead you to other people that fit the profile of your target market. So you do have some things to work with, even if you don't have a single dime. You have your time, your phone, your reputation, and your circle of influence. Now, what is a marketing budget? Well, simply, a marketing budget really just clarifies what you have and how you will spend it to get a return. And this is where most people fall down. A lot of people think a marketing budget is just an expense line that you have in your business. It's an expense. You know, I'm going to spend so many dollars on marketing, the end. Well, I think it's real key that you understand the concept of ROI, or return on investment. Now, we have several videos at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/marketingplanguide, and that that YouTube channel has some of these videos in there which talk about evaluating ROI. We have one on evaluating ROI of social media. We just have one that just talks about how do you know when you put a marketing budget together, how do you figure return on investment? And you go through some of the terms. You know, you have to understand your customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost you to get a new customer? And what is the lifetime value of that customer? How much money do you think that you can profit when you make a particular sale from a particular customer? It may be several sales over several years. It may be a one large one-time sale, but you have to know what it is that you can get a return from a customer so that you can start calculating this return on investment. And then you start mixing that with the effectiveness of the media tools that you use, how much you spend on them, and how much you're generating. And I'm not going to go into the whole definition of ROI. Again, we do that on the other videos. But take a look at our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/marketing plan guide, and you'll see a bunch of videos. In fact, almost every question we do on the live Monday Marketing Plan Q&A shows up on that YouTube channel as an individual video. We take this replay, and what we'll do is we'll take the replay of today's program. We'll post it over at marketingplanguide.com. I'll give you the address in a little bit. And then we keep it up there for a week until we have a new show, and then we keep replacing that. But then we take the individual questions from the previous week, cut them up into individual videos, and then post them on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/marketing plan guide. So really understanding the concept of ROI. Again, going back to this concept, I'm just going to go back to the slide again, because if you don't have a budget, what do you have? You do have at least this. You have your time, your phone, your reputation, and your circle of influence. And if you do have not much time, you may not have time to be in a business, so maybe this whole conversation is a moot point. So anyway, use what you have, and then really just clarify in your marketing budget what you have and how you're going to spend it to get a return. You do that by modeling a return on investment. Until next Monday, this is John Hunt from MarketingPlanGuide.com saying good luck and best wishes in creating that winning marketing plan.